Good morning. Welcome to another daily reading. This is Leviticus 18 and Acts 19. I read from the Institute for Scripture Research, the ISR, because it takes a direct translation from Hebrew to English, Greek to English, and Aramaic to English. Yah is the Elohim of the heavens and the earth, the first and the last and the only, and he's an extremely jealous El. He's so jealous that he doesn't even want the names of idols or mighty ones to come to our lips, and Yah is short for Yahuah, Yod-He, Vav-He, Yah. It's like saying Dan, Daniel, Daniel with an E. What is the difference and does matters when people say that Phil, Bob, Sam, and Aaron are the same name when no they're not, and no one in their right mind would ever believe that. And only a fool would believe that a hammer could force its creator to do anything, and there was no letter J in the Hebrew, Greek, or Aramaic texts, because the letter J is about 600 years old, while the son of Elohim, Yahshua, the Messiah, sweat blood, was brutally murdered on a stake, spent 3 days in Sha'ul in darkness and gnashing of teeth and fire, and was resurrected on the third day for the sins of all of humanity over 2,000 years ago. In a direct translation from Hebrew to English, Yeshua, which is short for Yehoshua, is Joshua, and the son of Elohim's name, Yahshua, means Yah is salvation. Yah will save his people from their sins. The name of the Father is in the name of the Son. Where is God in Jesus? God, there is only one God, and that's the pagan idol of fortune whom Leah named her child after in Genesis 30. And Jesus is Greek for Hail Zeus. Christ is the Greek idol Christos. Yshush is 4 different deities combined, including the name Zeus. It's idol worship. You're worshiping the sun, basically. Not S-O-N, S-U-N. Lord is Baal, which is another name for Satan, in every single Hebrew translation. And why do we only go to Hebrew for that word? Well, that word is a Hebrew word. Lord is Hebrew. Messiah is Greek already. You don't need to go Hamasyach, oh, that means Christ. No, it doesn't. It means Messiah. Just shattering Christianity real quick. Leviticus 18. And Yahuah spoke to Moshe, M-O-S-H-E-H, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, Y-I-S-R-A'-E with a half a check mark L, and say to them, I am Yahuah your Elohim. Do not do as they do in the land of Mitzrayim, so Egypt, M-I-T-S-R-A-Y-I-M, where you dwelt, and do not do as they do in the land of Canaan, K-E-N-A'-A-N, where I am bringing you, and do not walk in their laws. Do my right rulings and guard my laws to walk in them. I am Yahuah your Elohim, and that law has never once been abolished. Anyone who says so is a stupid fool who doesn't care about what the word says. Do my right rulings and guard my laws to walk in them. Guard them doesn't mean just keep it in your heart. It means to walk in them, to do them. Keep it even in your heart, so it is the first thing you do is Yahuwah's Torah. Don't just keep it in your heart to, I have it in my heart. Shut up. Shut up. You're a greasy grace. Your boat is sinking. It's time to grow up. It's time to wake up. You're throwing your own salvation away over a quarter of a verse, compared to the 7,000 plus times Yahuwah's word says to keep his commands. And don't tell me they did away with the word because the word was all they had. They didn't have the second writings. They had only the first writings. So when you say they did away with it, you're saying they literally abolished the Torah of Yahuwah. Meanwhile, Yahshua, who was blameless because he kept the Torah of Yahuwah, it's just a weak excuse to try to not have to do anything. You're killing yourself. Don't drag other people down with your own stupidity too. And you shall guard my laws and my right rulings. Has to say it again. We'll go back to 4. Do my right rulings and guard my laws to walk in them. I am Yahuah your Elohim, and you shall guard, which means to keep, my laws and my right rulings, which a man does and lives by them. I am Yahuah. No one is to approach anyone of his own flesh to uncover his nakedness. I am Yahuah. The nakedness of your father or the nakedness of your mother you do not uncover. She is your mother. You do not uncover her nakedness. The nakedness of your father's wife you do not uncover. It is your father's nakedness. The nakedness of your sister, the daughter of your father, or the daughter of your mother, whether born at home or elsewhere, their nakedness you do not uncover. The nakedness of your son's daughter or your daughter's daughter, their nakedness you do not uncover, for theirs is your own nakedness. And I believe above your knee was showing your nakedness, which is why when they did sacrifices, they didn't allow them to go up steps, because it would reveal their nakedness. Where am I at? The nakedness of your son's daughter or your daughter's daughter, their nakedness you do not uncover, for theirs is your own nakedness. The nakedness of your father's wife's daughter, brought forth by your father, she is your sister, do not uncover her nakedness. The nakedness of your father's sister you do not uncover, she is your father's flesh. The nakedness of your mother's sister you do not uncover, for she is your mother's flesh. The nakedness of your father's brother you do not uncover, you do not approach his wife, she is your aunt. The nakedness of your daughter-in-law you do not uncover, she is your son's wife, you do not uncover her nakedness. The nakedness of your brother's wife you do not uncover, it is your brother's nakedness. The nakedness of a woman and her daughter you do not uncover, nor do you take her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter to uncover her nakedness. They are her relatives, it is wickedness. And do not take a woman as a rival to her sister to uncover her nakedness while the other is alive. And do not approach a woman to uncover her nakedness in her monthly separation of uncleanness. And what happens when you do that? You become unclean like her. And do not have intercourse with the wife of your neighbor to defile yourself with her. And by the way, those who do that get the death penalty. Anyone who breaks any of these, sleeping with your family or whatever, they get put to death. It's not just a simple slap on the wrist, oh, you slept with her? No, man, you're getting the death penalty. Keep your legs closed. It's called responsibility. Learn it. And do not approach a woman to uncover her nakedness in her monthly separation of uncleanness. And do not have intercourse with the wife of your neighbor to defile yourself with her. And do not give any of your offspring to pass through to Molech, M-O-L-E-K, with a line underneath of it. They would literally burn their children to this idol. And Israel did that. Israel burned their children to Molech, which is one of the reasons why they got exiled. And do not profane the name of your Elohim. I am Yahuah, not God, the pagan idol of fortune. Do not profane the name of Yahuah. Keep it set apart. If you can't say Yahuah, there's something wrong with you. Obviously. Or if you're too incompetent, like in the sense of you are too greedy that you don't want to research his name and you think you can call him whatever you want. I just want to point out yet again, for the 6,000th time it says it, do not profane the name of Yahuah. Do not profane the name of Yahshua. And do not lie with a male as with a woman. It is an abomination, also death penalty. And do not have intercourse with any beast to defile yourself with it. And a woman does not stand before a beast to mate with it. It is a perversion. Both are put to death if they do it. Do not defile yourselves with all these, for by all these the nations are defiled, which I am driving out before you. Thus the land became defiled, therefore I punished it for its crookedness, and the land vomited out its inhabitants. But you shall guard my laws and my right rulings, and not to do any of these abominations, the native nor the sojourner who sojourns among you, because the men of the land who were before you have done all these abominations, and thus the land became defiled. Excuse me. Let not the land vomit you out for defiling it, as it vomited out the nations that were before you. In other words, keep Yahuah's Torah, and then you won't be defiling the land. Not to mention, you'll just be loving everybody and treating everyone with respect if you follow Yahuah's Torah. For whoever does any of these abominations, those beings who do them shall be cut off from among their people. And you shall guard my charge, so as not to do any of these abominable laws which were done before you, so as not to defile yourselves by them. I am Yahuah your Elohim. Keep Yahuah's word, all of it. What is the good news? The good news is the Torah, the Psalms, the Proverbs, the prophets, the genealogies. Yeah, I think that's it. I feel like I'm missing something, but and the Messiah, but the second writings weren't written until 300 years later, after the death of all the taught ones. All the taught ones were dead. Not to mention the majority of them were Hebrew. There's another idea. People are like, oh, the whole word, it's like 80-90% Greek. I'm like, really? Because from what I've understood, the entire first writings is only Hebrew, and the second writings is over 90% Hebrew, not Greek. Sure, a lot of Greeks took it and changed it around, but it's Hebrew. Very little of it is Greek or Aramaic. But hey, what do I know? I just pay attention. And these people who say I'm wrong are the same people who bow to the pagan idol of fortune and Baal and Christos and Zeus. And they want to tell me that I'm wrong. I'm sorry, I'm pretty sure you're confused on who you're calling the creator. The creator of the heavens and the earth, not some pagan idol of fortune that you can just change his name to whatever you want. The creator of the heavens and the earth and everything that is in them. HalleluYah. Acts 19. And it came to be while Apollos, Apollos, was in Corinth, Corinth, that Sha'ul, who's also called Paul, or Kêpha, Sha'ul, Sha'ul, having passed through the upper parts, came to Ephesus, Ephesos, and having found some taught ones, he said to them, do you receive the set-apart Spirit when you believed? Did you receive the set-apart Spirit when you believed? And they said to him, no, we have not even... Oops. Did I flick that wrong? Okay. We have not even heard that there is a set-apart Spirit. And he said to them, into what then were you immersed? And they said, into Johannan's immersion. Johannan is John, Y-O-H with a dot A-N-A-N. Johannan's immersion. And Sha'ul said, Johannan indeed immersed with an immersion of repentance, saying to the people that they should believe in the one who is coming after him, that is, the Messiah, Yahshua. And when they heard this, they were immersed into the name of the Master Yahshua. And when Sha'ul had laid hands on them, the set-apart Spirit came upon them, and they were speaking in tongues and prophesying. And all the men were about 12, and having gone into the congregation, he spoke boldly for 3 months, 90 days, reasoning and persuading concerning the reign of Elohim. But it's not actually 30 days, because it's from new moon to new moon is 1 month, and next new moon to the other new moon is 2 months. So it's not exactly 90 days. It's probably less than that. Maybe more than that. Depends on the moon cycle at that point. At 3 months, 3 moon cycles. From first crescent, again, back to first crescent, 1 moon. And then that first crescent to the next first crescent, next moon. And from that first crescent to the next first crescent, third moon. Excuse me. And having gone into the congregation, he spoke boldly for 3 months, reasoning and persuading concerning the reign of Elohim. But when some were hardened and did not believe, speaking evil of the way, so of the Torah, the Psalms, the Proverbs, the genealogies, the prophets, the way, before the crowd, he withdrew from them and separated the taught ones, reasoning daily in the school of Tyrannus, Turannos, and this took place for 2 years, so that all who dwelt in Asia, Asia, heard the word of the Master Yahshua, both Yehudim and Greeks. And Elohim worked unusual miracles through the hands of Sha'ul, so that even handkerchiefs or aprons were brought from his body to the sick, and the diseases left them, and the wicked spirits went out of them. But certain roving Yehudi exorcists took it upon themselves to call the name of the Master Yahshua over those who had wicked spirits, saying, "We exorcise you by Yahshua, whom Sha'ul proclaims." And there were 7 sons of a certain Skua, Skeua, a Yehudi chief priest, who were doing this. And the wicked spirit answering said, "Yahshua I know, and Sha'ul I know, but who are you? Who are you that I should listen to you? You're not Yahshua, you're not Sha'ul. Who are you? As far as I know, you're just a Pharisee crook." And the man in whom the wicked spirit was leaped on them, overpowered them, and prevailed against them, so that they fled out of that house naked and wounded. Excuse me. Not only it's because they didn't believe, but also because they weren't followers of the Messiah. They were followers of the Torah of the Pharisees. They were no better than that unclean spirit. That wicked spirit, they were no better than that wicked spirit. And this became known to all, both Yehudim and Greeks dwelling in Ephesus, and fear fell on them all, and the name of the Master Yahshua was made great, and many who had believed came confessing and declaring their deeds. And many of those who had practiced magic brought their books together, burning them before all, and they reckoned up the value of them and found it to be 50,000 pieces of silver. I just want to point out that the Pharisees were practicing magic. So the word of the Master was growing mightily and prevailing. Now when these matters had been completed, Sha'ul proposed in the Spirit, when he had passed through Macedonia, Makedonia, and Achaia, Achaia, to go to Jerusalem, which is Jerusalem, Yerushalayim, saying, "After I have been there, I have to see Rome too." And having sent into Macedonia 2 of those assisting him, Timotheus, Timotios, which is Timothy, and Erastus, E with a half a check mark, Rastos, he himself remained in Asia for a time. And about that time there came to be a great commotion about the way, so about the way they should follow, Yahuwah's Torah, Yahuwah's word, for a certain man named Demetrius, Demetrios, a silversmith who made silver shrines of Artemis, so an idol maker, Artemis, provided no little business to the craftsmen, who, having called them together with the workers of similar trade, so idol creators, said, Men, you know that our wealth is from this business, and you see and hear that not only at Ephesus, but throughout almost all Asia, this Sha'ul has persuaded and turned away a large number, saying that they are not mighty ones which are made with hands. And not only is this trade of ours in danger of coming to rejection, but also that the temple of the great female mighty one, Artemis, whom all Asia and the world worship, shall be regarded as worthless and her greatness diminished. She isn't great and she is worthless. Literally, someone created it, gave it a gender, and said, This is Artemis, a woman. She is our mighty one. Which is really pathetic because you literally had to create her to say that she's all powerful. You think she would have created herself if she was all powerful. Just saying. And having heard this, they were filled with rage and cried out, saying, Great is Artemis of the Ephesians. Ephesians. And the entire city was filled with confusion, and they rushed with one mind into the theater, having seized Gaius, Gaios, and Aristarchos, Aristarchos, Macedonians, Makedonians, Sha'ul's fellow travelers. And Sha'ul, intending to go in among the mob, the taught ones did not allow him, and some of the officials of Asia, being his friends, sent to him, begging him not to risk himself into the theater. Then others indeed shouted this, and others that, for the assembly was confused, and most of them did not know why they had come together. And some of the crowd instructed Alexander, Alexandr, the Yehudim, putting him forward, and Alexander motioned with his hand and wished to make his defense to the people. So again, the Yehudim were there, stirring up the crowds yet again. Instead of following Yahuwah's word, they just would rather people follow them. But having recognized that he was a Yehudi, all with one voice cried out for about 2 hours, Great is Artemis of the Ephesians. And the city clerk, having calmed the crowd, said, Men of Ephesus, what man is there who does not know that the city of Ephesians is the guardian of the temple of the great female mighty one Artemis, and of that which fell down from Zeus? Like I said, idol worship. Zeus. Therefore, if these matters are undeniable, you need to be calm and do not act rashly. For you have brought these men here who are neither temple robbers nor speaking evil of your female mighty one. If truly then Demetrius and his fellow craftsmen have a case against anyone, the courts are open and there are proconsuls, let them accuse one another. And if you have any further complaint, it shall be settled in the regular assembly. For we are in danger of being accused of riot concerning today, there being no reason which we could give to account for this disorderly gathering. And having said this, he dismissed the assembly. Yeah, they didn't speak bad about their idol, even though, like I just said, it's a joke. I'm speaking bad of the idol right now. It's a joke. It's a sham. Clearly. You had to make it with your hands in order to call it great. Clearly it's fake. Again, there's a reason why Yahuah says, do not even make an image of me and bow down to it, because that image is garbage. It has no use. It can't do anything. Stop bowing to it. And people are like, oh, who's your mighty one? Oh, my mighty one sits in the heavens. As far as you need to know, your idol is a joke. You should research it. Who created your idol? Yeah? How long ago? Oh, wow, okay. Well, did he create the heavens and the earth? Did she create the heavens and the earth? No? Oh, well, how mighty is she? Can she walk? No? She can't walk. Wow, can she speak? No? Not even that? Does she eat or drink? You just burn to something that sits still, hey? It doesn't do anything at all. Absolutely nothing. Oh, okay. So you're a fool then, is what you're saying. No. Okay, I get it. Anyone who bows to an object is a fool. I'm saying that. The word says that. Do not bow to other mighty ones. You'd have to be a fool to ignore it. You can call me whatever you want. People can say whatever they want about me. I don't care. I am very straightforward. I am very to the point, and I don't care about your feelings. Which is probably a bad thing. I should probably care a little bit more about your feelings, but I just don't. I don't. I have no cares in the world for your feelings. They mean nothing to me. You being happy, you being sad means nothing to me. All I care about is facts. And if that makes you cry like a little baby and run away and scream, oh, my family died, I don't care. When I tell the truth with zero regards to anybody's feelings. You don't want to hear the truth, plug your ears and walk away. You don't have to listen. You can be a cattle all you want. This whole country is a cattle. A cattle. A group of cattle, seriously. That's all it is. They're not sheep. They're not Yahuah's flock. They're cattle. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this daily reading. I know I did. If you believe the Torah has been done away with, you're a stupid fool. The word does not say that. Also, the word doesn't contradict itself, so by you saying the Torah has been done away with, you're saying the word contradicts itself over 7,000 times. And you're a stupid fool for believing that. Now, I'm just not calling everyone listening to this that they're stupid fools, just people who believe that. And stupid means to have a brain and not use it, so don't pull that out of context and get offended. And if you do, well, I guess you're woke. Russia is about to get invaded by the U.S. in Shinema. Even though Shinema literally chose to be Russian, it wasn't anyone else's decision except for, maybe if the Ukrainian government didn't fire a missile at Donbass for wanting to speak their own ancient language, which just so happened to be a Russian language, this wouldn't have happened. Literally, the citizens begged for Russian support, and Russia immediately stepped in. They were like, at first Russia was like, no, like this is a political thing. Like you truly want to be Russian, sure, but we're not going to force you at all. And go figure, a large section of the citizens were like, yes, make us Russian again. And America's like, no, we're losing, quickly, bomb more civilians, shoot up that hospital, we'll blame it on the Donbass citizens. No, wait, we'll blame it on Russia, because everything's Russia's fault that we do. Stupid Zionists. We are the terrorists we claim to be fighting against. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you don't understand. I don't care what you don't choose to research or believe. I just don't care anymore. The facts are the facts. we are about to start World War III, and we're going to blame it all on Russia yet again. Everything's this big Russia-phobia garbage. Why don't you do the research? Operation Northwood, committing acts like 9/11 on their own citizens to gain support for wars overseas. Operation Paperclip, when you brought the Nazis over to America to continue their work on the American citizens. Wow, that was freedom. About 50,000 soldiers died in the Vietnam War, and over 100,000 committed suicide afterwards because they realized what they did. Because bombing farmers' fields and supporting the opposition that was causing the problem to give you a justification. I'm putting quotes in justification, by the way. You can't see it, obviously, but a justification on invading. Oh, that little fishing boat, man, it shot at us. It shot at our big destroyers, so we just buried it and started a war. Oh, not to mention, we bombed 3 other countries around your country. Sorry, Vietnam. Sorry, everybody else. And people are like, yo, dude, I'm a survivor of Vietnam. Like, bro, what side were you on? America's? Oh, wow, you got what you deserved. As did America support the terrorist opposition of Korea, which is why North Korea acted so harshly and still does against America, because they literally supported the terrorists and successfully won. Bombing school buses and colleges and hospitals in the name of humanitarian aid isn't freedom. I don't care what you say. Using white phosphorus on civilian populations is treason. I don't care how you look at it. I don't care if the UN says you can only use it as a smokescreen, but you're not allowed to use it on civilians, but only as a smokescreen because of what it does. And people are like, oh yeah, that means we're going to use it as a smokescreen on everyone all the time. Oh, we're just trying to cover them up from looking at the sky, you know. It's disgusting and pathetic. And anyone who uses white phosphorus deserves to be completely wiped off the earth. Anyone who uses biological warfare, by the way, this US patented coronavirus, wiped off the face of the earth. Us citizens, we had our chance. We could have stopped our governments from doing these wicked acts against the world, but no, we chose to bow to them. So we deserve to be wiped off the face of the earth. If a nuke comes falling one day from another country, just know we deserve it. We did this to the world. Quit being crybaby me, oh, poor this, poor that. Shut up. We are the terrorists we claim to be fighting against. If we get bombed or whatever happens, we're not innocent civilians dying, okay? We are criminals who did nothing. If you see someone being attacked and you do nothing, you're just as guilty as attacking that person. Same works in the big world. But anyways, enough chit-chat. Enjoy this daily reading. Hallelujah.